Hello guys, Art-Teeves here. You are watching the third and final part of this video that covers the process of baking and texturing a stylized forest creature model in Substance Painter. Before we start, I want to repeat the disclaimer from the first part. I don't make any bark texture in this video, as the texture I use either came as a part of a gifted texture pack or was taken from a dope website. I really can't remember the source. Anyways, let's get started. I'm texturing this model in 4K Rezo for demo purposes. The creature is split into two texture sets. One covers all body parts, while the other one only covers those elements that will get affected by the cutout map. My texture padding is set to 8. I put the highest possible amount of phrase on all tabs and set my subsampling to 16. Also I switch object interaction to same name mesh for basically everything, and switch low poly and high poly suffixes to LP and HP to match the names I've given before. When baking a thick twig to a polygon, we get some normal anomalies. We will fix those a little bit later in Substance Painter. After I'm done with the main bake, I rebake only the normals map, export it to Photoshop and go to Layer Blending Options menu to apply color overlay to it. I make it white and apply a black background layer to it to create the cutout map. Next, I import that map as a texture to Substance Painter, activate the opacity layer in Texture Properties tab, switch my shader to the one that allows alpha blending, create a fill layer on the corresponding material and only add an opacity channel to it. I mask my fill layer and put the cutout map into its grayscale input field. The mask is inverted, so I add a levels filter to it and press invert to reverse it. When it comes to fixing your normals in Substance Painter, you have to go once again to your texture settings menu and switch your normal mixing type to replace, normally it is switched to combine. Then you will get the ability to create a paint layer, switch its normals blending options to pass through, and use the clone stamp tool to paint your normals the way you want them to be. To use the clone stamp tool properly, you will have to create a fill layer and copy your existing normal map into it, otherwise there will be no source material to copy. You can use the same approach to edit your ambient occlusion layer if you so desire. I apply stylized bones and stylized bark texture to my model and create two versions of bark texture, rotating one of them by 90 degrees. Then I simply mask all corresponding folders and use the polygon fill tool to paint matching parts of my model. You may want to play around with your tiling at this stage. Also, you may want to duplicate your material and make it more mossy or dark to add an improvised gradient that will link your model to its surroundings, like the swamp or some grass it stands on. To do it, you simply create a duplicate folder, alter some of its settings and then apply a gradient to it or a smart mask like ground dirt. As you can see, I am using a ground dirt smart mask to imitate some moss on my creature's feet. You may want to add some real moss material if you want. You can also apply a copy of your bark material to the creature's face or body and reduce its roughness, and then apply a smart mask to it to create some wet spots. For eyes, I start with the default plastic glossy material because I like its small normal bumps. Obviously, I reduce their amount greatly. You can add multiple versions of the same material, altering its color and roughness slightly, to add some color variety to the eyes. Make sure to watch your model with different lighting and environment settings now and then to get the idea of how it will perform in different conditions. The icon is pretty small, so it doesn't require some complex normals or anything like that. I simply apply two differently colored versions of the same wood smart material to it and edit their colors to match the color pattern of the real acorn. The bark dress is made the same way we've made a dress for the gardener robot in my previous video. I even use same torn metal alphas I've made for it. I create a fill layer, add an opacity channel to it and make it fully transparent. Obviously, I disable all other channels for this layer. Then I mask it and apply a paint layer to the mask, using a custom brush to paint opacity wherever I want it to be. You can rotate the brush by pressing Ctrl key and your left mouse button. I add a simple fill layer, mask it, apply a paint filter to it, and use it to highlight edges of the dress. Obviously, I play around with its opacity settings in its blending options to make it less noticeable. I create several such layers to make an improvised gradient. I used the same bark texture we used before to color baked branches. As for leaves, I like to paint them by using the default creature skin material, altering its color and some other settings. Actually, now that I look at this model, I think it would be much better to simply use PNG textures of some real leaves, because why not? The final step here revolves around hiding UV seams. I create a basic paint layer, set all of its blending options to pass through, and use the clone stamp tool to break and hide all straight lines of UV seams. You can play with your brush flow to make it even more smooth. And we're done here. Thanks for watching, guys. If my videos are of use to you, please be my guest and subscribe to my channel for more stylized content. And most importantly, have a great day.